Hi, how is everybody doing today? Welcome to What's New and Coming Up with Lipedema. We are so glad that you're here with us today. Make sure that when you come in, that you put your name, put where you are from, so that we can reach out to you. I am Gail Straker. I'm the community manager for Lipedema Simplified, and I am here today with my absolutely wonderful friends and cohorts and coworkers and you name it. We work together. Starting over here with Catherine Sayo, the founder and CEO of Lipedema Simplified and Lipedema Project.
And Phoenix. We just had a visit from
We
Phoenix.
did. Phoenix, my youngest granddaughter, she's 6, and I'm out here in the backyard and trying to find a place where I don't have a bunch of people around me. But good luck with that. So anyway, say hi, Catherine.
Hi,
Hi,
Catherine.
Phoenix.
As you can tell, we're kind of being silly today. We do enjoy ourselves here, and I'd also like to introduce my the wonderful Siobhan, my friend and colleague. Hi, Siobhan.
Hi. I'm the research specialist at the Lipedema Project, so I read a bunch of stuff and then I put presentations together on it on various topics.
And a lot of times, not only does she put a presentation together, she gives a rip-roaring presentation in person or online. It's pretty awesome. So today we have some stuff that we would like to talk about. We have, June is Lipedema Awareness Month, and we have become very aware. We've got getting a lot of new people. I'm sorry, guys. I might have to move if the kids are too loud. Let me know. But we have been doing some wonderful things. We had a challenge through the month of June, and we met a lot of new people. Catherine, what do you think about that challenge that we've been holding?
Oh my God, it's been so much fun. I think it's the most fun that I've had in a while with the Lipedema ladies. I feel like it's taken us a while, but we've got a rhythm going. So we've had a presenter, we've had engagement, we've had breakout sessions, we've had bonuses. If anybody wants to join us, we still have a couple of bonus sessions left. We have one this coming Wednesday, the 21st, another one on the 28th, and then as a special bonus, and mostly because people have asked us for it, Gail and Brian are doing a pain clinic on the 30th. So if you want, you can still sign up for it. Let me find the link, or where the
Yeah,
link
I
is.
put the link in, Catherine. It's what we call the LAM challenge. So it's right there. Yeah.
And so do join us if you can, if you haven't already signed up. Yeah, it's been so much fun. And we had, we tend to do the main topics that we need to cover when you're new to lipedema. So our first session was all about lipedema, what it is, what you need to know, and basically how we got here. And then we had nutrition with Siobhan, and Carrie was there as well, and Gail and I. And then manual lymphatic drainage and all conservative treatments with Leslyn. And then we had a special guest speaker. There's a wonderful influencer, what they call a social media influencer. She's been sharing her lipedema journey on Instagram for several years now, but she's had numerous surgeries. So she came and told her story. Her name is Cara Cruz, but she's more known as Pale Ginger Pear. Pale Ginger Pear. Anyway, she is a sweetheart. I'm actually inviting her to come and present at more of our events.
Yeah, I really liked her. I loved her personality and the sarcasm and fieriness and humor of it all. It's definitely the type of person that I
Yeah,
can get along with very easily.
yes, she was so feisty. I'm going to invite her to come back because she was and also her story is so engaging.
Hmm.
She's had quite a journey. She's had 7 different surgeries.
Yeah, and it was really helpful for me how she described why she had surgeries in the areas that she did and the kinds of issues that she was having, because I almost never hear of it explained that way. I usually just hear, oh, I'm getting surgery, and then they get the surgery, oh, things are better. But she went into such detail, and it's like, oh, that's really helpful for helping me understand that perspective and why people would do that and the kinds of things that it can help with if it's with the right person in the right situation. So I really appreciated her sharing.
And I found that when she explained her process of selecting a surgeon,
Mm-hmm.
had to really feel confident in the surgeon. She needed a surgeon who would be very proactive for what she wanted. She worked hard and interviewed several surgeons before she selected the one that she went with. I was really pleased with to hear that.
Yeah, that's a really good way to go about it.
Another thing that we have coming up is Tribers at the Table. This is what one of our June is Lipedema Awareness Month events. In fact, it is in itself a group of several events. Many of us in the community have decided that we want to get together in person, and so um, we listened to the community, and we decided we will have we will have tribers at the table. So this is what it looks like. Tribers at the table throughout June. And I'm going to put the link in for you to sign up. So, what we're doing is all over the United States, a few up in Canada, some overseas in Australia and New Zealand, we have gotten together and met in person. These aren't very big events. Well, some of us aren't very big events. Mine, I think I have 4 people coming. Siobhan's
I
holding
think,
mine tomorrow. Go ahead, Siobhan.
yeah, mine is on the 24th, and last time I checked, there were about a dozen people signed up. So it's like, ooh,
Yeah, so
might get very
so
lively.
we're holding these in small locations. I mean, they're not like a conference hall or anything. I'm holding mine at Great Harvest in Meridian, Idaho, because it's just around the corner from me. Siobhan's holding hers where, Siobhan?
So glad you asked. What a good question, Gail. Definitely not opening the link right now so I can check where it is. Definitely in Denver. Let's see. Oh, the Bardo Coffee House. I knew that already. I have it memorized. That's why I recalled the information so fast. The Bardo Coffee House. So it's like 15-minute walk from Union Station. So I'm going to be taking the bus in, and then I'll walk the rest of the way. Other people, you could take public transport in, take an Uber over, or drive in because there's a parking lot right next to it. So any way you need to get in, you can get there.
Yeah, and we already have members of our community who live in the Denver, Colorado area who have driven over to see where they're going to park to make sure
Oh,
that they can
nice.
get there. Yeah, so they wanted to make sure that they could do it without too much stress. When we selected these locations, we tried to make sure there was transportation or parking, handicap accessibility in case someone's in a scooter, using a walker, wheelchair, or just have a hard time negotiating steps. And we've made sure that they are small, intimate areas. So if you would like to continue to, we'd like to see if there's Tribers at the table near you in the next 2 weekends, go ahead and click on the link that I put in the comments. Maybe we should just call it clink for click on the link. What do you guys think? Just go
I
ahead
like it.
and
Clink.
I I want to share what someone is sharing because it's so wonderful. This is Marlene. She says she's feeling much better since she's got her new lymphatic pumps. And she got so much support from her nurses. They got the insurance company to pay for the pump. And she's found a wonderful lymphatic surgeon who's helping her. It's wonderful. What a godsend, she says. And she's lost 20 pounds already. Hang in there, ladies. What good. Thank you so much for sharing, Marlene. That's so wonderful. Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations. It's always nice to get another piece locked in and feel like you have a good support system that's not one person, but multiple people. So I'm glad you have that.
Yeah, and it's not always easy to find that help. And so when you are able to find that help, and we have questions, make sure that you let people know who you found help from. That's really
Mm-hmm.
um, to do.
Yeah,
Um,
and then
Ah,
Katie Taylor, a little bit before, said, Catherine, you were at Dr. Herb's talk last night, right? Any thoughts? I was also there, and I thought it was great, personally.
that's it. Do you want to say more, Siobhan?
I was wanting you to chime in as well. But yeah, so I found it really interesting. I did ask a question during the Q&A, and I don't disagree. And think I think it goes along well with what I talked about at Keto Fest in terms of contributions to the nodule formation and things like that. Um, and I'm curious to see what further research she does. So, for people who weren't there, Dr. Herbst was talking about this hypothesis that part of the issue with lipedema is that it's subclinical compartment syndrome. So, compartment syndrome is when a lot of pressure builds up and then there's no way to release it. So, in this case, she was talking about potentially the fluid and fat building up in these compartments within the legs, and in particular, a small compartment that's close to the inner part of the leg near the bone, that houses a very important vein that I don't remember the name of, and then also a lymphatic vessel. And she talks about how this could explain the cuffing, it could explain some of the pain because there's also nerves in there. And she also had pictures of sections of a leg of presumably someone who died with lipedema that they were then able to look at for research. And it did show enlargement of that compartment in that area. So I'm definitely excited to see where she goes from here, and then what else we learn about why does it happen? Why is this happening? What else is going on? So I think it might be another piece of the puzzle, which is really good to have. And I also appreciated her outlook during it because she was talking about how it doesn't matter who's right as long as we get closer to the truth. Like, as long as we're having this discussion, that's the important part. And I definitely agree on that perspective as well, because we just need to be talking about this and make sure other researchers are aware of it and talking about it, that we're asking good questions, that we're doing good research, and that ultimately, she was talking about, I hope other people look into this and prove or disprove it. That's always been my perspective as well. Like, whatever I'm talking about, if someone comes in like, I think you're wrong, awesome, let's talk about it. Why do you think that? So yeah,
right.
I liked it a lot.
And the thing that I got to thinking about when she was talking about the greater saphenous vein compartment,
There you go.
yeah, um, is in 2006, I had my greater saphenous veins laser ablated.
Ah,
And this is way before I knew I had lipedema. I mean, it was 13 years before I knew. And when I had them laser ablated, for me, that got rid of a lot of the pain. So it was
Interesting.
probably my pain was and a lot of my pain and swelling was due to venous insufficiency and blood pooling in my legs while I worked on my feet. But what it made me think of was, I wonder if that venous insufficiency was part of the lack of fluid moving through that venous compartment. And it made me wonder if my having my veins done either affected it negatively or positively in some way, or just having that vein issue affected it in one way or the other. And it made me think a little bit about.
Yeah. And that's another thing that I noticed in the chat,
So
and something
I
she
want to.
brought up as well, is that her presentation made people do that. They went, I wonder, which is always really good. It's always good to have that.
So I want to add to the conversation because just having an exploration and a potential hypothesis as to causality is enough to start laying a pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they did. She's working in partnership with a doc from Spain. I don't remember his
Samaro
last name.
is his last name.
So Dr. Samaro and Dr. Herbst are collaborating on exploring this as a potential hypothesis as to some of the causality around lipedema. So just beginning that conversation is excellent because you have to start somewhere. And one of the things that she said is jump on board. Prove us right, prove us wrong. It doesn't matter what you do, just prove something. So it's the invitation to engage in the conversation from a scientific level, which I think is what creates innovation and breakthrough.
Yeah.
So
And
one of the
interestingly,
goals,
when she was talking,
one of the goals,
go ahead, Catherine.
one of the goals that we've had for a very long time is to find out the cause of lipedema. We don't know it yet, but we will.
That's the important word, is the yet part.
Yeah. Go ahead, Siobhan.
Yeah, when she was talking, I actually saw a lot of overlap in what she's thinking about and what I've been thinking about. And I always find it really fascinating when that happens between two independent researchers who don't talk to each other. I usually refer to it as like convergence, but I've seen it happen like a couple of different times. And usually it's like, I mean, this is bias on my part, but when there's something there, even if both of them are completely off base, there's something that is catching both of their attention. And she mentioned like the lack of pressure buildup when the calf flexes. And that's something I had mentioned as well, that the connective tissue is supposed to hold things in a certain way and then rubber band to create that pressure. Yeah, so it's very, very interesting stuff.
And what's really fascinating to me, because I'm a geek from way back, and I can remember there were certain breakthroughs that happened simultaneously in different labs doing research without an actual connectivity. What Siobhan was just mentioning, that happened with the hologram. That also happened with the double helix. So there were lots of breakthroughs in science, especially, that come because it's in the field. That means the field of energy is such that more than one group of researchers end up exploring and finding similar answers. And I think that's always fascinated me in terms of how it works, because I know we're going to just keep going until we find the answers.
Yeah, and Cindy Tannehill asked, was that taped? It was. So the LymphoPress ladies said that they would be putting it up on their YouTube channel later. So people will be able to watch that recording for free. So that will be really good. And I would recommend everybody do that. I think everybody should be exposed to as many different ideas about what's contributing to lipedema as possible, because then once you have those hypotheses in your head, you can start turning them over and start seeing what you notice in yourself and other people and see which one sounds more likely, and then we can talk about it.
Yes.
So Eileen Navarro says, when will you come to PR? When will you come to Puerto Rico? And I'm assuming, Eileen, you're talking about Tribers at the Table or some of our events and things like that. And what we're doing is people who are in the area, like me, I'm holding mine in Idaho. I'm not going to Idaho to hold it. I'm living in Idaho and holding it here. And so if there's something that you want held in Puerto Rico, maybe you're the one who's going to have to say, hey, I'll hold one of these here in Puerto Rico. So, and that's what's happened with Siobhan lives in the Colorado area. So it's going to be, or not Colorado, Denver area. So she's going to hold hers in Denver. We're having one in North Carolina this weekend. And that's how the Tribers at the Table has worked. So anytime, Eileen, you're ready for an event, you just let us know. And we'll say, hey, there's one over in Puerto Rico. Whereabouts in Puerto Rico are you?
Yeah, and that's an important note, Gail, that if there is anyone who wants one in their area and there is not one there yet, just reach out and say if you're interested in hosting, or say, I would be interested in co-hosting, but I would like another person there for support. Just reach out and then we can do that and make sure to list it for you.
And I have to say, Fajardo, is that the place?
What was that, Catherine?
I think that's the area in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
Fajardo. It looks like it. I'm looking it up now. It's a town in Puerto Rico. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Oh my God, I would go there in a split minute. Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
Yep.
so
And then Laura Hayden from Long Island just said that she would be interested in hosting as well. So that's another one.
So if you're interested in hosting, here's the thing. We are finding that a lot of our people who are hosting or who are coming to these say, we want to do this more than just June. We want to do this again. And so we're going to be looking at if it's possible to hold them more than just once a year, right? This is our first time doing it. We anything the community wants, we give it a try, if it's within reason. And as you can see, Catherine put her email address down below us, because I'm thinking Catherine wants you to write her an email.
Yeah, just send me an email if you're interested in hosting. And we still have, most of them are Saturday or Sunday, because that's the time when most people can get together. And we've been getting together in the mid-afternoon, like 2 or 3-ish. So people can choose to eat or not eat, have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever. Or, we met at Panera Bread and people had salad or sandwiches or whatever. So just go ahead, and this is the I just had the link. Where's the link? Here it is. Go to the page and take a look, and you'll see. And if you want a date that's left in June, just email me and we can set it up for you.
Yeah, and since these are at different places, if it overlaps with another date on the list, it's no big deal. It's just making sure it's in the latter half of June, because that's where we're at this point.
And so one of the ways that we do it is, as a host, we find a location where we can get together, and we let Catherine know we'd like to hold it here at this time on this date. And then our wonderful marketing and tech people put together a letter, and boom, and we've got the letter going out, and we have a link right there on the registration page, and so people can find you that way.
So so Eileen and the woman from Laura. So Eileen and Laura, if you want one in Puerto Rico and if you want one in Long Island, just send me info and details. Take a look at what's on the page at the Tribers at the Table. You'll see what others have done, and you can just send me the info and we'll add you to the list.
Yeah, and then I want to make sure to address this one before we close out, because Sandra Mulray said, please tell me where I can find the info you were talking about. I am new to this and devastated. So, Catherine, if someone has just figured out about lipedema, what is the best places they can check out first to just get that basic information to get started?
I would suggest, well, two things. We still have time left in the challenge. Gail, do you have the challenge?
Yes, I do. I'll go ahead and
link?
put it up.
Yeah, go ahead and put it up. So the challenge was last week, and it was 5 consecutive days where we had presentations. It's already happened, but they're all recorded, and you can get the replays for a very nominal sum. And the only reason we charge for that is because we have to pay to have it edited and put into a online and tech person like that. So you can get the replays, and there's several bonuses coming up. So go ahead and sign up, and you'll have an opportunity to sign up for what we call VIP access, which is you get the replays and extra Q&As. And that's immediate. We also have a membership group. Let me see.
I've got that too, Catherine. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
I got it.
Okay.
It's learn.lipedemasimplified.org/tribe. That is our community group. The community group has been running, oh my God, for over 3 years. That's unbelievable. Really? It's 3 years. I'm counting on my fingers.
Yep. So
It's real. I'm like, oh, could that be real?
February 2020.
20. Yep, we started February 2020. So, the tribe has basically, we have something every day of the week, 20, pretty much. You can connect with other members of the tribe or something live or recorded. And it's a great place to start. We have a very comprehensive library. So those are a couple of options.
Yeah, I would also say
I would say start with the challenge.
Yeah. A couple of other things that are available. So Leslyn's book is a good option if you want to learn about the lymphatic system, which is important for lipedema. So it does talk about different options that are available for lymphatic care as well. That's called the Lymphatic Code, and it just released in audiobook form as well. So that's a good option. It's how I got introduced into the lymphatic system, and understanding that aspect can help a lot in terms of thinking about swelling, about nutritional approaches for lymphatics, about other comprehensive care, so manual lymph drainage, compression, things like that. It's a good intro into all of that. And then I also have a presentation about keto for lipedema that's available on the Keto Mojo website. So that talks about potential reasons why it may be helpful, and then some of the research that it is helpful that exists already, which is continuing to grow as we go forward. So I think those 4 things, the challenge, tribe, Leslyn's book, and then my presentation, will at least give you somewhere to start. And then the Facebook groups are always great as well, because then you can just kind of immerse yourself in what people are talking about.
Yeah, we do have a lot of resources, and when Catherine talked about the starting with the tribe, about the library that we have, oh my gosh, I'm blown away at what the library that we have access to as a tribe member. It's out. I mean, hours upon hours upon hours of videos and those sorts of things. It's just it's an amazing resource.
So and as you can tell, this live is supposed to be around 15 or 20 minutes, and it traditionally runs late because we talk a lot. So we have so much info, and anyway, the hubs that we have them in are very good because you can search by keywords. But I think we should wrap up tonight. Is there anything else, ladies?
I think that's it.
Not that I know of. Sign up for a Tribers at the Table or host one, and we will see you soon. And I can't do this very well for very long because I have to use my finger over here to push this button and end this broadcast. Bye, everyone. Have a great week.